Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bachelorette star speaks out after mom ruins hometown date. Bachelorette contestant Jeremy Simon was sent home after hometown dates. He reacts to social media users blaming his mom for his exit. Keep reading for all the details. Jen and Jeremy's hometown date. Jen Tran's journey on The Bachelorette is nearing the end. But before making her final choice, she met the families of her final 4 contestants, Jeremy, Marcus, Devin, and Jonathan. Jeremy, a 29-year-old real estate investor based in NYC, perhaps had the least amount of airtime throughout the season so far. However, he had a fun one-on-one date with Jen Tran in last week's episode that earned him a rose to continue on in the reality dating show. He took Jen Tran to Connecticut, where he grew up. She met his mother, Karen, stepdad, Michael, 2 sisters, and his older sister's fiancé. Jeremy's mother was extremely skeptical of her son's connection with Jen after just a few weeks. She wasn't shy about making her opinion known either. The interaction gave Jen pause and ultimately fueled her decision to send Jeremy Simon home. Bachelorette star responds to people blaming his mom. Some Bachelorette viewers were delayed in watching the latest episode after a scheduling snafu at ABC. But apparently, enough people on social media blamed Jeremy's mom for his untimely exit. He responded during an interview with Glamour magazine. Jeremy took up in defense of his mother. "I don't blame my mom for asking the tough questions. She could be skeptical. I wanted her to trust me also. And she does trust me in the fact that if I bring Jen back, she knows I like her a lot. But that doesn't mean my mom is not going to ask the question she wants to ask." He added that he was a little surprised at the time by Jen's decision. "It wasn't fun to watch it back and hear that Jen thought it was a hard day because while it happened, I thought we were having so much fun, but it is what it is." Could fans see him on Bachelor in Paradise Season 10? Is Jeremy Simon done with the Bachelor franchise? Glamour asked him about the possibility of him returning for Season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise. He said that he would consider it if he's still single by then. ABC revealed that BIP won't return until next year. And according to Jeremy, there are a lot of Jewish moms in his DMs trying to set him up with their daughters. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in soft hues of pink and lavender, Rachel Stone sat in her Bachelorette suite, staring blankly at the rose lying on the table. The rose was meant to symbolize progress, connection, and the deepening of relationships. But at that moment, it seemed to mock her, representing everything that had just gone horribly wrong. Rachel had been on an emotional roller coaster, riding the highs and lows of reality TV dating. Each week, she bravely navigated through the chaos of group dates, stolen moments, and awkward conversations, all in pursuit of true love. And now, she was on the cusp of one of the most crucial points in her journey, hometown dates. Her hands trembled slightly as she recalled the disaster that had just unfolded. It had been the moment she had anticipated, and perhaps dreaded, the most, the hometown visit to meet one of her final contestants' families. For weeks, she built up this particular relationship, believing it could lead to something profound and lasting. Until, of course, the very person she had hoped would support her journey had sabotaged it. Rachel knew that families were often protective. Hometowns always came with the risk of disapproving parents or skeptical siblings. But she never anticipated that it would be her own mother who would throw a wrench into everything. The visit to Daniel's hometown had been going well. The nervous anticipation Rachel had felt melted away as she walked hand in hand with Daniel through his childhood neighborhood. His warmth, his charm. It had all felt genuine. There had been laughter, small talk, and even shared glances that spoke of something deeper. But the serenity of that moment shattered when Rachel saw her mother walk into the backyard. Her eyes widened in disbelief. What was she doing here? She hadn't invited her mother to any of the hometown dates. Rachel had specifically wanted space to get to know each man's family without interference. But here was Margaret Stone, sweeping into Daniel's family gathering like she had every right to be there. Her polished appearance, the purse slung over her arm, and the confident click of her heels against the pavement, all of it screamed control. "Mom? What are you doing here?" Rachel's voice had barely masked her shock as she hurried toward her mother, who had already been in conversation with Daniel's mother. Margaret smiled in her usual composed manner, as if everything was perfectly normal. "Oh, darling, I thought I'd come check in on you. After all, I didn't raise you to do things without my advice." Rachel felt a wave of embarrassment wash over her. The cameras, the producers, Daniel's family, they were all watching this unfold, and she was powerless to stop it. The awkward tension in the air became palpable, and Rachel could see the confusion in Daniel's eyes as he stood by the barbecue, tongs frozen in midair. For the next hour, Rachel felt like she was watching a slow-motion train wreck. Margaret's sharp commentary on reality TV dating, her casual dismissiveness toward Daniel's career, and the pointed questions she directed at his family, it all felt like an intentional act of sabotage. "So, Daniel, what exactly do you see happening after all of this? I mean, if you two were to leave together?" Margaret's voice had a hint of challenge, her gaze direct and unflinching. Daniel hesitated, clearly uncomfortable under the scrutiny. "Well, I've thought about moving closer to Rachel, or—" "Moving?" Margaret interrupted with a raised eyebrow. "That's quite the commitment for someone you've only known for a few weeks, don't you think? And what about your job? Stability is important in a relationship, you know." Rachel had to bite her tongue. She could feel Daniel's unease, and with every word her mother spoke, the wall between them seemed to grow taller. It wasn't that Margaret was wrong to ask those questions. It was the way she asked them, dripping with doubt and veiled criticism. The evening ended in polite smiles, but the damage was done. Daniel's family was visibly uncomfortable, and as Rachel hugged him goodbye, there was a distance between them that hadn't been there before. Now, sitting alone in her suite, Rachel felt the weight of it all pressing down on her. Her mother had ruined the hometown date, whether intentionally or not. She picked up her phone, hesitating before calling Margaret. When her mother answered, her tone was cheerful, as if nothing had happened. "Hi, darling. Did you have fun today?" Rachel clenched her jaw. "Mom, why did you show up? I didn't ask you to come." There was a pause on the other end of the line. "I just wanted to make sure you were making the right decision. You know I always have your best interests at heart." By questioning everything about Daniel in front of his family? By making me look like I don't know what I'm doing? Rachel's voice cracked with frustration. "You made him uncomfortable. You made me uncomfortable." Margaret sighed, her tone softening. "Rachel, sweetheart, you're on a TV show. Things like this can be unpredictable, and I just wanted to ensure you're thinking long-term. I don't want you to make a mistake." Rachel closed her eyes, tears threatening to spill over. "I appreciate that, but this is my decision to make. I need to figure this out on my own, without you showing up unannounced." Another long pause followed, and when Margaret finally spoke, her voice was quieter. "I see. I didn't mean to cause any harm, Rachel. I just worry about you." "I know, Mom," Rachel whispered. "But you have to trust me." After the call ended, Rachel sat in silence, the weight of the moment sinking in. She loved her mother, but this journey was hers alone. The path to love was never easy, but now she faced the added challenge of repairing the damage caused by her own family. Rachel stared at the rose again, this time with a renewed sense of determination. Tomorrow, she would talk to Daniel. She would explain, apologize, and hope they could move forward. But as the lights of the city twinkled outside, she couldn't shake the lingering doubt. Had her mother ruined her chance at love? Or was this just another test in the unpredictable world of finding it? Only time would tell.